going on, everybody? There's Sean Sleepyhead. Welcome to the weekly Class vs. Crass Nintendo podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jason Lapine, and joining me tonight, as always, is Sean Long. Sean, how you doing?
I'm all right. Mm,
Good. Why am I hearing myself?
I don't know.
There's a feedback loop.
Did you
I'm muted. I'm muted.
I have pop out chat, so it's something on your end.
All right, well, we'll see if people can hear it. It's not too bad on my end. All right, so if you're just joining us for the first time on this Class vs. Cast Nintendo podcast, we do have a format. We usually go over what have you been playing. That's where Sean and I discuss what we've been playing over the past week, share our thoughts with you. Then we go into the big Nintendo headlines. There's a few more because we have been away for 2 weeks now. Then we go into the Nintendo Fan Showcase. That's where every week Sean and I take a turn to pick a Nintendo fan in the community. We highlight them on the show, whether they compose music, do some art, cosplay. I don't think we've featured any cosplays here yet.
No, because yeah,
Cause what?
you know my thing of cosplay. Shut up.
Yeah, that's something we have to do. And then we go to the lightning round at the end, where we take topics and questions from anyone at a very fast pace rate, and that's Sean's favorite section, so he usually leads that. Look at that, we got RC Maniacs in the chat. Haven't seen him in a while on Class vs. Crass. Welcome to the chat, RC Maniacs. So Sean, let's get started with you. What have you been playing?
Star Fox, but I can't talk about it. So, as far as you people are concerned, I've been playing nothing. I did buy a PS4.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm a big Sony fan after Nintendo. PlayStation 2 consumed my life, and I've supported Sony all the time. But this time, I did not go for a PS4. I went Microsoft for the first time. Why did you go PS4?
I went with a PS4. Well, there was a couple different reasons. I wanted the Xbox One, and I wanted the Xbox One with the choose your own game bundle, which was $300. And the Best Buy I went to did not have that one. They only had the 350 one. And I was like, well, that's two digital game. It was you get both Tomb Raiders and they're both digital. And I was like, well, that's kind of lame. And then I was like, well, I could just buy a PS4 if I'm going to spend 350 and get the Black Ops one, which is a physical copy. So I went with that.
Damn, so it was one of those in-store purchases that went wrong.
No, I wouldn't say it went wrong, but honestly, the a lot of people used to give me shit on Twitter and whatnot when I would say, PS4 games, they don't look that great. Xbox One games, they don't look that great. There's not a difference. And they're like, oh, once you play it, you don't even own it. You can't say that shit. Well, guess what, bitches? I own it now, and there's not a huge difference
From the PS3.
from the PS3 or the Xbox 360, even the Wii U to some extent. Like,
Oh, that's
call
a
it,
big claim.
why?
I
The
don't know.
PS3 and the Wii U are similar. You can't say a game like Bayonetta 2 isn't a gorgeous looking game. Like, it's all in aesthetics. It's all in how the developers do it. And like, I don't know. Like, right now, I only own two games. I have Dying Light coming in. I have Black Ops 3, which came with the system, and NBA 2K16. And it's kind of a tale of two tapes for me. Black Ops 3 looks like shit. Okay, like it's smoother. I will say the frame rate holds up better than on the PS3. But as far as like environments, stuff like that goes, I don't really think it's any different. Like, graphically speaking, it has a little better colors, and there's a couple cool effects. Like that one level I really like with the rain, the lush jungle, and the snow all in one. Like that, it looks cool. But everything else is just so standard and basic. Now, NBA 2K16, I am a big basketball fan. That I can notice a difference. It's definitely more noticeable. I wouldn't say it, extremely noticeable, but it's more noticeable. So that was at least a pleasant surprise. I did Dying Light because a lot of my friends have it, and I got a pretty cheap copy. So, um,
See, I'm surprised because so last gen I never had a 360. I went with the PS3, and so I got the Xbox One, and I find the games I've played on there are a huge improvement over the last gen. Depending how you look at it, like if you're looking at it just from a like graphical standpoint, shading, no, that looks kind of the same. What I'm seeing more of, and specifically I'm referring to like Mad Max and Arkham Knight, which are the two games I've noticed the most improvement over, are the particle effects. For example, in Arkham Knight, just about everything. So you drive around the city a lot, and I find just everything falls apart. Everything like gets can be destroyed. That's something that you wouldn't have seen on a last gen game. So that's what I'm seeing more from the new generation is just more effects, like more particle effects, more lightning, more shading, lighting. Um, the textures, no, there's not a big improvement, but there's a lot more detail in every little component of the game. So I don't know if your games, I haven't tried the ones that you've tried.
Graphics are all subjective, but I just think it's funny how people kept like certain other people in the community used to get mad at me because I didn't own one of these systems. So how dare I talk about them? But now I do. So kiss my ass.
For sure, no, it's good that you're on board on the with a modern console that came out in the last 2 years. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's better than buying consoles from 20 years ago all the time.
Shit, I'd rather have my. I'm glad I have my Jaguar. I think my Jaguar is fucking. Oops, I didn't mean to say that. My I've played my. I've played. I've gotten more. I've gotten more enjoyment out of my Jaguar and Raiden and Alien versus Predator than I have with Black Ops 3. I can tell you that damn much.
Well, try Batman Arkham Knight because that's what's been getting me hooked over the past week. I actually just beat it today. I beat the story mode.
You did it, buddy.
I did. It's really addicting, and like in the Arkham franchise, I've only played Batman Arkham Origins so far on the Wii U,
Oh, that
and
was the worst though.
yeah, it's not good. Like I was kind of trudging through it as a chore. There was some stuff that was good, but overall it felt awkward. And obviously in Arkham Knight, everything just feels so smooth, so polished. The Batmobile's amazing. I just can't put it down. It's a great game.
It's time to get rid of that series though.
Arkham?
Yeah, that
Um,
that's done.
it seems to be suggesting that's where it's heading. Like I finished the main story mode, which leaves. I don't know if they're gonna end the series. I still have to do all the side missions to really see the final, like the what's gonna end or how the game's gonna end. But it's suggesting that like he might be retiring, so we'll see what happens. Spoiler. But
Yeah,
what?
let me go run out and buy it now that I know the ending. Thanks.
Well, I'm saying I don't know if that's what it is. I think that's where it's heading, but
Yeah,
anyway, so you can't talk about Star Fox, but I'm totally allowed to talk about Star Fox.
to an extent, only what you played at the demo.
And that's all I've played so far. I've only played a preview, so for those who didn't read my article on NintendoEnthusiast.com, I was invited by Nintendo of Canada 2 weeks ago to play 1 hour of Star Fox Zero, and it was really weird because they don't usually invite you to do this sort of stuff. So I figured, hey, it's they're probably worried about my like impressions of controls and all that. Star Fox Zero has been getting so much complaints, and that was further proven when I was actually playing the game and they were asking me, "So, what do you think about the controls?" And like, can you comment on the controls at all? Can you share your impressions on that, Sean? Or
I literally can't. I can't do any
you just don't
preview.
want to risk? Okay, so I can only talk. Well, yeah, that's all I played. So I played at E3 a year ago. I played like an hour there. I played the same demo a month later, and then I played my 1 hour preview last week. Uh, I'm way more comfortable with what the game is now. When I first picked it up at E3, I agree the controls were terrible. I didn't share the same thought that the graphics look bad. I always thought that the graphics were fine for a Wii U game, for a Star Fox game, they were appropriate. But the controls were weird. And I remember you had to actually hold your gamepad like this, and your TV's here, and so you almost had to play like you would play a DS, but that's not how you play a Wii U. Usually the controller's in your lap, right? So that's one thing that they seem to have fixed since E3 because the whole time I was playing, the gamepad was actually in my lap comfortably. One thing that's different is so if you've played Star Fox games, you know your reticle's always just kind of that's what you control. So now you move that kind of with the gamepad to a certain extent, and you have to adjust. You can also kind of do this to independently target aside from just flying, so you can still fly straight but look to the right or left. Um, the controls feel a little bit like Splatoon, and you use kind of like Y to readjust your aim. So, Splatoon. Do you like the controls of Splatoon? I don't hear many people complain about Splatoon.
Oh yeah, I think the Splatoon was fine.
Okay. So yeah, I think if you're okay with Splatoon, think of Star Fox Zero as kind of a combination of Splatoon and classic Star Fox. I think it works personally. I also think it's hard, but then again, this is a game developed by Platinum, so you can expect that level of difficulty. If you've played any Platinum games before, that definitely shows in Star Fox Zero because it's hard. It's a lot harder than past Star Fox games, which I welcome because I always thought Star Fox games were too quick.
Yes,
Did
I may or may not have completed a run through of the game.
So if you've played Star Fox 64, haven't you basically played Star Fox Zero?
No,
RC Maniacs, no, it's a complete remake. The levels don't play the same at all. The enemies aren't the same. The music's not the same. You have four different vehicles, I think. Four?
I don't even. One, two, three, four. Yeah, at least four. I don't even think they should have made that analogy because it got kind of that stigma. But playing it, I was like, okay, this isn't Starfight. Like I literally actually have my N64 hooked up to another TV right next to my main TV downstairs, and I was playing. I would play some Star Fox 64 and be like, okay, yeah, this is nothing. Like maybe the general like Corneria. Okay, Corneria kind of looks like Corneria, but then there's a whole bunch of different shit. So I mean, yeah, I don't think that's a fair comparison. Um, I don't even have my embargo details anymore because I
Yeah,
sent them all.
it's completely revamped. There's like you have multiple bosses on a planet, at least from what I could tell in my preview. Just on Corneria, there's two bosses. There's the
Right.
one on your main path, and then there's the one that you go off with the Chicken Walker path. Um, and there's so many strategies of how to play. Just the different ships really opens up really different ways to play and take on bosses. Just the first boss on Corneria, you can actually take him out different ways. You can, for example, you can either attack him on the outside with your R wing, or you can actually fly in with your Walker dude, walk to the core, and then you're like in a walking mode kind of game where you have to. Yeah, so it's just very different how it plays. That said, I do think Star Fox Guard will be better received in general. Star Fox Guard is super fun. Can you talk about it? Star Fox Guard, or is that the same embargo?
I don't even have it, so
No. Oh,
I
really?
never.
You never?
Jonas
Oh,
doing
right,
that.
right. Star Fox Guard plays very well. I think it's very appealing to anyone of any skill level. So I think it'll just be way better received. And the fact that it's bundled together, it's a great value. I'm very excited for Star Fox Zero and Guard. So that's what I've been playing. That's what I've been doing. That kind of opens up our next discussion actually into the headlines, the Nintendo headlines. While we get into that, if you're in the chat, what are your thoughts on Star Fox Zero? Are you concerned about it? Do you have any questions regarding it? Are you excited about it? Longtime Star Fox fans just going to be entering it? Let us know in the comments. There we go. Fuzz Dude, first Star Fox game I'm really interested in. Good one to start in. So let's talk. The big thing that happened last week, obviously, is Mitomo launched. Sean, did you get Mitomo? Did you get into it? Oh, he's gone. No wonder he's so quiet. So he did warn me that his internet has been sketchy all day today. So we're probably going to be losing Sean. My hair is definitely on point tonight. So yeah, did you guys get into Mitomo until we wait for Sean to get back, or we can still talk about Star Fox Zero? What a guy. Sean Tendo, welcome to the Class vs. Crass podcast. Really, Nicholas, you don't care about this one? I'm surprised. I've always been casually into Star Fox, but now I'm really excited about this one for some reason. I've just been craving it for such a long time. Oh, also, I find that, especially in the boss battles, from what I've seen, way more cinematic than any other Star Fox game. And I don't think that's necessarily something that a game needs, but the fact that it's there just makes it pretty cool to see. Let's see where, like when I was playing, I had a few other reps in the room watching me play, and like they were all into it. It was like it's an interesting game to watch. It's not. Like the boss battles are just cinematic. We'll just leave it at that. Looks like Sean's completely disconnected. I'm drinking tea in my Zeo Drifter mug. And yes, I will be also reviewing Star Fox Zero. And I plan on being quite critical of it. I don't want to give this game undue praise if it doesn't deserve it. All right. I don't know how long he's going to be gone. Hopefully he'll be back soon. He's probably resetting his computer. There he is.
I agree. I agree.
You do?
I do.
You
I
were just
mean, it's,
saying that I should be hosting the show alone now.
I mean, you can.
I don't want to.
As I was saying, basically, see, Nintendo shut me up. That's what happened. I just think a lot of big websites are going to give the game lower than expected scores. I expect to see sixes and sevens because they won't understand the game and they won't understand really the essence of the game and how to play the game. And that's going to be a shame, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I expect to see a lot of sixes and sevens too, actually, from my short time with it. But I don't know. Does it deserve more? Is it a great game? Is it good? I honestly don't know right now.
I do, but I can't say.
Oh, that's a shame. In a month we can talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we disconnected, I was trying to talk to you about Mitomo.
The hell is that?
It's that game you downloaded and that you play
Yeah.
on the toilet.
At the game?
It's not much of a game, is it?
I don't. Uh, I have 400 friends. People keep adding me. Every morning I wake up to over 100 notifications. It says people are answering questions and asking questions, and I don't know what I'm doing. So I just kind of pop in every now and then and say like LOL or something, and then that's it. And I have like 12,000 gold coins and like a billion game tickets.
Yeah. It's really poorly organized in my opinion in terms of like you say, I get all these notifications too, and there is no way I'm going to go through all of these. It takes way too long to see what people are saying. You have to go like into each individual question and then it's dumb.
I mean, it's it's addicting. The best part of it is being able to put your little dude in any picture you want. Like
Me photo's
that.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, photo is great. But it's not bad. For Nintendo's first time out, I mean, number one on the iOS, over 1 million downloads on Android. They know it. They did something right.
No, that it's good. Like I gave it to um well to Swiffer and she loves it. And
Yeah,
like
she added me.
she's a casual gamer and she's addicted to it. Uh I I find you get more enjoyment out of it though if you're actually adding people you know or that you talk to already. Because if you're just adding a bunch of people that you don't know because of I don't know they're on your social media and you've never like talked with them and you're answering questions about them, it's just like well why do I care what your favorite bread is if I don't know anything about you and we've never seen each other and we've never even talked, right?
That's why I don't answer other people. I don't answer questions about other people. I answer the. I It asks me a question. I answer the question, and then people comment on that, and then I'll go in and I'll say something to them in that part. But I won't like. What do you think so and so's favorite bread is? I'll say like dick or something. Like I don't care.
Right. Yeah, I definitely think it's better if you're not, if you have a little bit more fun with the questions, then whoops, what's going on here?
What?
Hmm. Then if you just answer it normally. What are you laughing at?
What? What's going on here? Oh yeah, it's better if you just answer it normally. Like what the hell was that?
The Google Hangout was doing something weird when I was clicking around. But one thing I wonder though, what do you think Nintendo's going to do with all those answers that we're giving them? Like someone pointed out today, it's basically a friendly spy bot that you willingly give all this personal information about yourself, which is now on Nintendo servers and databases, and they have all this data, and they can
Okay,
sell that data.
if they really wanted your data, they could look at your internet browser on your Wii U and look at all the weird porn you watch. Like, people get all upset about that. Like, I saw something going on with the Division right now where it's like you can trace an ISP address via the voice chat or something like that. If people are like, "Not my ISP address," it's like, okay, like your ISP address is within like a 20-mile radius of where you live. Like, nobody cares about you. Calm your ass down. People are just way too worked up about shit like that. So I could care less. If they want to know that they asked me what I do to relax, I say smoke a cigarette and watch an adult film. That's what I do. So I don't care.
Frostbite asks if we've been on Game Explain. We have not been in Game Explain. Have you?
Who?
Game
Who?
Explain?
What is that? I've never heard of them.
I hear they're kind of important sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. But yeah, it's definitely an app that they need to refine a bit. The notifications are off. I hear some people are having a lot of problems adding friends. Whether I think it's after you reach a certain limit, people are finding difficulties. Me photo is amazing. You're already seeing tons of memes being used, which is brilliant. And I like that you can actually use other memes that you're friend with. So like if
Yeah.
you and me are friends, I can take your me, my me, and make a scene with that, which you saw
Yeah.
on Nintendo 90. Um, Definitely, yeah, it's a good app. It's a good app to start. The games are kind of. I wish they had a little bit more games other than what is it, Mitomo Drop.
I think here's my thing. I think in a month they're gonna actually have games to the point of like, maybe like a basic shmup or something, to the point of where you would be like, okay, I'm out of game tickets. What's a couple cents real world currency? Because you got to remember, there's supposed to be real world currency. And right now, it's so easy to get coins and shit. Like, I have an abundance of coins that
Because you're not buying
uh,
clothes. You got to buy some clothes, man.
I have my clothes. I have exactly what I wear in real life.
Be creative now.
No.
What's your fashion level? Is it like still level one?
No, actually, it's 13, bitch.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
higher than that's higher than me.
Choke on that. Choke on that shit. Both of my
How
levels.
did you get it so high if you only have one outfit?
I don't know. I don't know how the damn thing works. I log in and there's a million friend requests. I'm like, okay, okay, okay.
It takes so long to add friends too.
Oh
The
my
other night
God,
I
they need to
tried.
do a bulk thing.
Yeah.
Just accept anyone. I don't care. Why is Sean a game explain hater? I'm not a game explain hater. I'm they are what they are. They do their thing, we do our thing, pretty much. They're a little white bread for me. That's all.
White bread? What's white bread?
A little white bread, plain.
Am I am I white bread?
Yes, you're very you're
So
white bread.
so what are you, like pretzel bread?
Nah, I'm like wheat bread.
Like
No,
whole wheat?
no, no.
Keeps
I'm
you
like
full
I'm
longer?
like I'm like the bread, like the multi grain that's got like 9 different grains in it and shit.
Oh, the stuff no one wants to eat.
No, dude, that's my bread. That's
What
my go-to
you
bread.
eat multigrain.
Yes, the shit that's got like the seeds all along the edge,
Yeah, and it
fresh
tastes
from
like
the bakery.
sand.
No, it tastes so good.
Uh, I,
I
I
love
would
it.
I would have never. I thought for sure you were a white bread guy.
Nah, I'm not white bread. You're white bread.
I should have. I'm more of a croissant. I went through a croissant period as a
Oh,
teenager.
well, you're French. I
I
mean,
am. I
French
know. I kind
Canadian.
of go through that. But
Les croissants.
and then the baguette. Now I enjoy a baguette once in a while.
Mm.
Moving on. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what the next Mitoma or what the next Nintendo app is going to be. This one they definitely have a lot to learn. What are you laughing at?
RC, AFC
Yeah,
Maniacs thing.
white bread. Yeah. Um, exactly,
Savage.
RC. So Mitoma Drop. Yeah, we were talking about Mitoma Drop. I would love to see them use more of what you see on your 3DS. What is it on the Mi Plaza? Like the little games in there. I think they would work well in the Mitomo universe or another app like Mi Force, which is what you were saying, the shoot 'em up. Um, yeah, so it's good. All right, moving on to our other. Oh, here's another thing that we haven't talked about since we haven't been here. So the last time we were live, we had these NX controllers to talk about. We had NX controller leaks. That was a big thing 2 weeks ago, and we were freaking out. We thought you were going to eat a hat, and then it turns out it was fake.
I was not freaking out. I was concerned, but I was still pretty sure that I would not be eating a hat.
That's not what your message said when you saw the pictures for the first time, where you were like, Jay, holy shit, look at this. Or Jason, or whatever you call me. Anyway, so it turns out those are fake. I don't know if you're not aware. They were just 3D. No, the first one was actually photoshopped, which was what a lot of people called for, and then the second ones, which were black, were 3D printed
Which you actually said.
already.
No, I'm saying you
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
thought
yeah.
it
I
was
called that
3D printed.
right
Yeah, you called that.
because it looked. Yeah, I did. It looked like a physical object in the real world, but it had obviously. Why would someone only show it with nothing playing on the screen? Because it was a prop and nothing more than a prop. So thank God that's over because that would have been a really, really scary controller to have.
I mean, they might have been able to make it work, but it's just, I mean, I really don't think that's the way they're going with this system. It doesn't really make sense.
I like that we actually have an indie developer in the chat room. So RC Maniacs is saying that he was freaking out as well as other developers when they saw that controller. I can just imagine, like, what do you
Like,
do with that?
and I can't really imagine like Nintendo meeting with Square Enix, when they were talking when that Dragon Quest leak was coming out or whatever, and Square Enix being like, "Oh yes, this is nice controller. I like how it have no button. We bring Dragon Quest to NX with this." Like,
Just
no,
rub it, and the nubs.
yeah, like no, Stewie Griffin looking ass. But yeah, it'll probably be a more traditional controller.
Yes, which now begs the question, what is it going to be? We're right back to where we were a month ago, not knowing anything about NX.
That's good.
But what we can say, and you're gonna have to fill me in on this, we got some information that Sony might be preparing a PlayStation 4.5, point 5 for um, not having a better name for it. Do you have more information on that? Do you have the whole details of what the PS 4.5 is?
Essentially, yes. Essentially, it's just a rumor for now, and a lot of people are saying, "Well, why didn't you wait for the 4.5?" Evidently, it'll have like 4K upscaling, and or it can run. I don't think it'll run games natively in 4K, but there's something about it'll have additional power to the GPU. Really, it sounds interesting, but I don't really foresee it doing well solely because you have literally 40 million PS4 owners, and I like to equate this because statistically it's actually pretty similar to the 3DS. If you look at the 3DS versus new 3DS, there are a total of two games that you can only play on the new 3DS and one game that runs substantially better. That being Binding of Isaac, Xenoblade, and Hyrule Warriors. Two of those three games are also first-party Nintendo games. So there's only three games, and that shit's been out a year. So do
Yep.
you really see developers going, we got 40 million people that own this one, but we got like 500,000 that own this one, and it has more power. So let's waste all our money and put it into a PS4.5K version of the game instead of the PS4 version of the game. So it runs like shit on the PS4, but we're bigger. Come on. Come on.
No, it sounds sketchy. It sounds like something Sega would do when they used to do hardware. And
Right.
it burns like Sony's on such a good like marketing streak right now with their audience. Like the PS4 is probably looked at as a marketing success or as an example of what how you do marketing properly. And Xbox or Microsoft is like this is how you don't do marketing. That it would just be disastrous. I can't see them like is that it? PS4.5 would just be essentially like a new 3DS. It would just be more powerful, more of the same, but a little bit better specs.
Yeah.
So like
And
if that
for
happens,
and
at
I mean, but
4K.
but that's the thing. Like someone just said in the chat, a lot of high end PCs can't run games in 4K. 4K gaming isn't here, and even if 4K gaming is a little ways away. So I don't know. A lot of people seem to think that the PS 4.5, whatever K, whatever the hell they're calling it, is a legit thing. I don't know. It just seems silly. Why not just? And it was so damn funny. I had someone on Twitter going back and forth with me about it. Like, well, Nintendo does it. I was like, that's a handheld. We're talking about a console. And then this person tried to like justify it, and we're like, well, the 3DS cost $250 at launch, and the PS4 cost $400 at launch. It's only $150 difference. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude! How long did the 3DS stay at 250? Like 6 months? It went down to 200, and then if you paid 250, you got 10 free games with it. Like you can't compare. Handhelds are like cell
10
phones
free
and
games.
laptops are always evolving. Home consoles, you
Actually,
can't.
phones are more expensive than all of that. Phones
Well,
are.
that's true, but I'm talking about in a contract or whatever. But no, I just don't foresee a large majority of PS4 owners going, "Hey, I've got to upgrade to this motherfucker." Like, I don't know why I'm so cussy tonight. I'm kind of tired, but yeah,
I'm
like
not even picking up
that
on it.
makes that's good. You're getting used to me finally.
Yeah, it goes in one ear, out the other. So let's entertain the idea, though. Say Sony comes out at this E3 or whatever E3 period and says, "Hey, here's a brand new console or whatever." What do you think that means to Nintendo, to the NX? Does it play any differently to the strategy that Nintendo's on?
Nope. Why would it?
Well, I don't know. I'm just exploring the idea out loud with you right now.
Okay, Sony would be like saying, "Hey, okay, this if Sony comes out at E3 and says we have a new PS 4.5K, this is a good analogy for you. This is you're in a room with 100 people. All 100 people have $1 million on them, and there's no way to get out of that room. And you have a gun, and you could sit there and either take that $1 million from every person, or you could sit there and turn that gun on you and blow your head off. That's what Sony would be doing.
Dark.
They would be like, all right, we're going to take this money. And that's it. Like, no, there is no way in hell that, no, no.
So you don't even see it as being okay, if Sony somehow miraculously came out with a better console, marketed it properly, somehow I don't know, made
They
it.
can't.
That's the
It's not
thing.
feasible.
I don't see it working either. And I don't even think like if we talk about the NX, man, there's just so much that could happen here because the NX isn't like. Do you think the NX is going to be a powerhouse that's just going to be another Xbox One and PS4? Like
Uh,
we've had this conversation a lot, but it's worth repeating.
to some degree, yes. I mean, you can't play. Look, you can't play the weaker specs game anymore because it worked really well for 3 years, roughly 3 or 4 years for you, and you got away with it because you had something completely different. Then you try to play the weaker specs game again, and you fell flat on your face. You sold 13 mil over 4 years.
Yeah.
So you gotta. I mean, you gotta be competitive. You don't have to be. You don't. It's kind of like it's kind of like a sports game or sports. You might not be the best team out there, but you have to give it an honest effort, and you got to be competitive, and you might sneak out a win.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's all about being competitive. You have to look at what the not. I'm not saying worry about what the next man is doing to the point where it affects you, but you have to look at the whole. You have to look at the bigger picture. You have to look at market trends and stuff like that. And I think Nintendo will do okay. I hope they'll do okay because the better they do, the better we do, and the better we do, the cooler shit we can do for you. So all of you in the chat room should hope Nintendo does okay at
Very,
least.
very nice spin on that. You spun that
All
around
right.
well. Yeah, that was some good diplomacy right there. Why is this thing meowing again?
Why is it still alive? Is the better question. Oh, that was
That's a
another
very good
question.
question. That is a good
It's
question.
it said one of like Mitomo questions was, what's the best thing about cats? And I said they go away after a while.
This one doesn't. It needs
Hmm.
to. You lost my trail of thought. But okay, if the NX though is as powerful as the Xbox One PS4, it's probably going to come out with a launch of $300, which is, I guess, okay, it's kind of pricey, but I feel that Nintendo wouldn't release something that's just a carbon copy of another. They need still their unique take on gaming somehow, and I can't see them attaching anything to a PS4, Xbox One without increasing the cost. You look at Xbox. They added the Kinect, which was their own unique take on gaming, and it flopped. Nobody wanted to buy it. It was an extra $100 just to have that. So I can't imagine the Nintendo adding anything to you know, let's call it what it is. It's basically a PC connected to your TV. Like that's going to cost them for sure $300. They can't put an accessory or anything for 50, $100 more on that.
It doesn't
It'll
have
kill
doesn't
them.
have to be an accessory. It could be a software feature. It could be something akin to, a digital download service, a rental service where, Netflix with Nintendo, sort of service. It doesn't necessarily have to be, and it doesn't, and it's not like Nintendo can't afford a little loss on hardware initially. I mean, all systems are prone to that. The key difference is Nintendo makes their money back tenfold in software. So if you got to take a little loss on the hardware side of things, but you're making hand over fist on not only your NX software, but your 3DS software, your mobile platform,
Hmm.
you don't care about the little loss. It's because at the end of the day, if I lose, if okay, I have two hot pocket things here. Okay,
Wow, nice.
if this one loses me $50 and this one makes me $300,
Yeah,
I made $250. I don't give a. I don't
yeah,
care. I
and
don't
it's
care where the money comes from, just as long money comes.
and it's been the consistent trend in the industry for over 30 years. It's how do we get the console into a household so that we can then shove as much software as possible.
Yeah,
So it's always been let's lose money on the console to get it into people's homes. And actually, I think Sega did it differently. They took a loss on, I think it was with Sonic 1, they took a loss on the game where they gave away the game for free just to get the console into people's homes.
right.
And look how
But
well that played to them. Yeah.
yeah, that actually worked for them. But I mean, now game development is just so astronomically high. Even for, pretty much if you're coming out with a standard release, non-digital. If it's digital only, you kind of have a little less of a budget. But if you're doing a standard release nowadays, man, you gotta try to bring your A game. So I
It's
mean,
funny that you say game development is so much more expensive now because it's also the age where it's the most accessible.
right? It's the cheapest and most expensive at the same time,
Right.
because you can have a game that looks like an Atari 2600 game where your gross profit will be higher than a AAA release.
Yeah.
Just depends, or
Uh,
at least your percentages, we'll say.
right. I'm picking up a question here from the chat from James saying that, sorry, that the DSi shop is closing next year. Any thoughts, Jason and Sean?
Good riddance. Who
The
the hell
the
is? You know what?
DSi shop?
It pisses me off that, like, sometimes I'll say, oh, okay, what's new on the 3DS? Let me see what codes I need to try to get. And then I'll see like 3 DSiWare games. I'm like, who is making DSiWare games still? What are you doing? Why are you wasting your time? Like,
I
I
don't
want to
think
live
I
there.
don't I don't think anybody like these are probably just latecomers to the game. And this is one
You gotta
thing.
be real late.
Yeah, well, like this is one thing I was telling you. I'm seeing a lot of projects for the Wii U that indie projects for the Wii U that started maybe 2 years ago, right when the Wii U was in its drought, and it was like, oh, we're the new saviors. We've got all these new indie games coming. But the way I'm seeing that development go, it's very scary because we're already at the point where we're talking about the NX. Nobody knows what the NX is going to be. Is it going to be backwards compatible? Is it going to use the gamepad? What's going to happen to the Wii U? And like some of these projects, we're seeing like they're pretty much rebooting them, so they're still probably 2, 3 years away. And for example, one of these projects that I'm specifically referring to is Hex Heroes, because that game is so I can't even say it right, linked to the Wii U because it's asynchronous gameplay with the gamepad that it's very hard to port that game to any other platform unless they change the gameplay itself. So that being said, like maybe that's what's happening with the DSi, where it's you have these projects that were in development hell and they're just
Okay,
coming out now.
okay, fair enough. But you're talking 7 years if you're going that route.
That's why I
Okay,
called it development. Final Fantasy 15. How long has that been?
because that's a AAA game. That's completely different. Okay, you're talking because the 3DS has been out for 5 years now in North America. Okay, so let's say they started it when the DSiWare was popular 7 years ago. Okay, 7 years ago.
Okay.
And regarding Hex Heroes, you're really gonna make me say this, just like I told you in private. Um, I first and foremost, I like the developers of Hex Heroes. I believe we talked to them one time on an indie corner summit when we used to do those, which I think we should still do those again because those were fun.
Mhm.
Um, and they're very nice guys, very ambitious title, but that's the breaks, dude. Like I I know a lot of people give some developers flack. I won't mention any names for sort of coming out with games every couple months or whatever. But video games is a passion and a business, and it does. There's two different sides of that coin, and a lot of people on the passion side try to get too much into the business side to understand things, and they don't understand how things really work. Whereas on the business side of things, if you're developing an indie game that's outside of your scope, in my opinion, if it's taking you more than a year to develop your game on an indie platform, maybe you shouldn't do it. Because tomorrow is not guaranteed. You're going to tell me that when the Wii U was sitting at 5-6 mil sold, this was going to be a good idea. Something was going to come and save the Wii U. People were already calling for the Wii U's head. It ended up doing better with Mario Kart, Splatoon, games like that, Smash Brothers. But you can't say you didn't see this coming. So as a developer, now there's some developers I don't agree with when they abandon the project, but that's only when there's money involved. When it's Kickstarter shit, that pisses me off a lot. But someone who just says, "Hey, our game's gonna come to the Wii U," and then, "Hey, now it's not. The system sucks," or whatever. From a business standpoint, for them, the system sucks. I could almost understand it
Okay, so you're throwing a lot of things here at once. So let's start with
because
the
you're
first.
talking about Hex Heroes, and I told you that they took too damn long to make the game, and that's just my opinion on it. They took too damn long to make the game.
But you're not even okay. If we're going to talk about Hex Heroes, you're not even saying that they're taking too long. You're saying that they shouldn't have even that was a passion project that they shouldn't have even developed because the Wii U was dead in the water 2 years ago.
No, I didn't say that. I'm not saying that at all because in that same breath, Shovel Knight sold best on Nintendo platforms. So what I'm saying is that when was the original release window for Hex Heroes when on their Kickstarter?
I don't know. It was. I can tell you, I backed a lot of Kickstarters in the last 2 years, and all of them had, including Hex Heroes, and all of them had release windows before today. So at least all the Kickstarter projects I backed should have been out by now, and none
Okay,
and none of them out. None of them are.
so I mean that right there tells you like they a lot of these people are actually just doing passion projects. And okay,
Well, that's kind of
here.
what it's like
No,
to
no,
be.
shut up for a second. Anticipate estimated delivery for Hex Heroes. Digital copy of the game. 759 backers at $15. April 2015, a year ago.
But
Okay?
that's kind of the beast that is game development.
Not my
It's
problem.
it's a big project. You're saying if you can't do it within a year, don't do it. That's not always fair. Okay, if you're one person, that might be fair. What if you're a team? As a team, it's harder to quantify, okay, what can we do in a year or not? And as you
No, it's not.
develop,
You bust your ass, man. You figure out a way to do it in a timely manner.
and just like any creative project, it's not one of those things where it's like, okay, this is our first week of project. Let's plan out the whole development. I know this is the ideal world, and we're like, okay, in a year from now, everything we just talked about in this week, we're gonna have out. No, like in a month from now, someone's gonna get an idea. As you're building your game, you get ideas, you test things, you see new opportunities, and you see this even in Nintendo games. They get delayed because they get new ideas.
Even so, even so, you have to, at some point in time, realize that all these awesome ideas that you have, maybe you should just hold off on them till a sequel because you have to get a product out there. Because right now, Prismatic Games, and I'm not trying to pick on them, got roughly $90,000 from consumers that wanted a Wii U or PC Max Linux version of the game that was supposed to come out in April 2015, and we don't know when it's coming
Okay.
out.
Well,
And
this
that
is
is the beast known as Kickstarter. And that is
yes,
why I have abandoned Kickstarter.
and that
Kickstarter can go to hell.
right. And I want to take Prismatic Games out of your scope for a second because they're not the only ones. this is a Kickstarter problem where a lot of people are asking money, and as you're saying, they are not delivering on them right away because either the budget that they raise was not enough for the game that they promised, or new opportunities came up, or new investors came up, and now the game has either blown up into something bigger, or they just underestimated their needs. And that's a whole other problem, which is Kickstarter. And a lot of people are feeling that burn, even on big games like Frostbite is saying, Mighty Number Nine. Where is that game? That was coming out what 2015, 14?
Yeah. So I don't. The last project I backed is a Super Nintendo cartridge that's supposed to come out in June, and I've seen the prototype of the cartridge, so I'm fine. If it takes a little extra while, okay, so be it. Like they give me progress all the time. I see the game coming along, and it's clear that the game is going to be released in a timely manner.
In a timely manner.
Yes, not a year after the fact, 2 years after the fact.
But a lot of these Kickstarters that do go over their limit, they actually, if you are a backer, you're still getting updates, and they are explaining this whole thing to you.
I know. I've backed Kickstarter projects
Right.
for the Wii U, all of which have not come out.
Right. And you're still saying, even though that they're updating you and that they're still saying, like, oh, new opportunity, new idea, and all this, that's still bullshit. They should still focus on delivering.
My Super Nintendo will still be relevant. Will my Wii U? Will my digital shop on my Wii U be relevant? Will I be able to play my NX game? Will I be able to access Wii U eShop games on my NX? Will I have to pull out my Wii U just to play this game that I gave $10 to because at the time it sounded cool and it just never came out? Am I going to care that much?
I don't know. Some nerd with bad username saying, aren't the people who make Hex Heroes made the bridge? Uh, which one's the bridge? Remind me.
It was not Justice Beaver. It was Sydney Hunter. I did get a free Justice Beaver shirt though. The bridge, yes, the bridge just came out of the Wii U actually
Is that the shooting game? Is
recently.
that the shooter?
No, it's
It,
a puzzle game.
oh, okay. See, that's good because there's another developer that did something like that. The developer behind, I think the game is called Revan or Revan. It's like a Metroidvania. That development was going longer than expected, and they actually built kind of a prequel game, which was we played that the beta where you build your fleet. It's a shoot 'em up, but you can also build your own fleet and you can attack.
Yes,
That was a little game that they were able to do much faster, which kind of leads up to their other big game, Revan. So it gives something to the consumer to play, and it also helps build that momentum and that excitement to play the real game, which is still coming. And they can get more sales on that too, which is another um, way to fund the game.
right. I don't know. Kickstarter. I could go on for hours and hours about Kickstarter. I'm done with Kickstarter though.
Yeah.
So
Would you say though that Kickstarter should really be a project where it's here's the game, we're 80%, no, like 60% of the way. Now we just need bam to fund it, and it shouldn't be so much kickstarting an idea,
yes,
at least in the gaming world. All right,
yes. In anything, people. The thing is, people have become too greedy.
fair enough. All right, 10 minutes before the hour, so we are getting into our Nintendo Fan Showcase. I picked the fan this week, and I'm going to be showcasing an artist. This one, you can find him on DeviantArt. Him or her, I'm not actually sure. Their name is Moonskinned, and they've got a very cool picture here.
Can we please use gender neutral nouns? Thank you.
Get out of here. So this is one of their piece of work of Fox McCloud, obviously looking a little bit more mature themed Fox McCloud, which I thought was pretty cool. And it's not often that you see some Fox McCloud artwork that isn't of the sexual kind, from what my searches were showing. And here's another piece of their work showing Zelda
Jason was
with
very disappointed that he could not find
that I couldn't find what.
the deviant, the true deviant Star Fox stuff.
Mm. And this is one of Zelda looking like some Game of Thrones inspired stuff here. So do check out their account, Moonskinned on DeviantArt, if you want to see more of their work. Very cool stuff. And they have more than just Nintendo artwork, so do check it out. And it's all more mature stuff.
Ooh.
Yep. All right, so now we go into the lightning round. This is where you can ask your questions, topics for the group, for us. Any questions you might have or any topics you would like us to discuss or share our thoughts on, go for it. This is where Sean takes over and talks more.
Do you guys show adult themed Nintendo artwork? No. We try to be somewhat family friendly.
Somewhat.
Somewhat.
Sean's cussing
Yeah.
is the only exception.
Do you think Nintendo will do something with VR on the NX? No.
I really don't think Nintendo's going to go VR.
VR's stupid. It's a gimmick. Anyone who says it's not a gimmick is a corporate shill. Um, what would you rate Star Fox Zero? I cannot rate a game that I cannot talk about, and Jason has only played an hour's worth, so that would not be fair.
Definitely not fair. We can rate it in a month though, which we will.
Is Lapine Gate going to take down Jason? Unfortunately, not. You know, it would be funny, but
Have we heard of Overgrowth? It's been in development for like 9 years and still in alpha. I have not heard of Overgrowth.
it sounds like they need to cut off that growth and move on with their lives. Mile High Gamers in the house. Good channel. Bunch of stoners from Colorado. Actually, the Denver retro scene hates those guys. It's a very funny story.
Just saw the Zero Suit Fox comment.
um, do I love you, Jerps? I guess.
Say it.
Yeah,
Say you love them.
augmented reality, I think, is a better chance than VR because I think augmented reality is more accessible and doesn't cost nearly as much because they've already tinkered with it but abandoned it on the 3DS.
I want to answer the next question. Will Zelda U really come out this year? They have a lot of marketing to do. I am fully confident it's coming out this year, and I'm fully confident that you're going to see a huge marketing burst. Usually, what Nintendo does is they have two big releases in the year. You see one come out in the spring, and then you see their big holiday release. Last year, we saw that with Splatoon and Mario Maker. This year, I think we're going to see that with Star Fox and Zelda. Actually, no, Star Fox doesn't have much of a marketing budget. They're probably putting it all towards Zelda.
Probably. We talked about the PS 4.5 and the NX. I think the PS 4.5 is bullshit, and it won't even put a dent in. It's like here's the analogy: there's 100 people in the room. Those people have $1,000,000. All of them are unarmed. They can't get out of the room. You are in the room with a gun, and you can rob them all. But instead of robbing them all, Sony takes the gun and puts it in their mouth and blows their head off. Do
Wow.
you do you think we'll get a new Skies of Arcadia on Nintendo NX? No. It'd be cool, but no.
This podcast is turning like an anime with flashbacks at the end about the beginning of the episode.
Right? Do you think Kingdom Hearts 3 will come for the NX? No.
Why not?
I think Final Fantasy has a better chance than Kingdom Hearts 3. Even though Kingdom Hearts 3 would probably sell well on the NX because you could amiibo the shit out of those.
You could amiibo the
And,
shit.
oh my
You have
god.
the younger audience that Disney loves. Like, I think Kingdom Hearts 3 would work very well on the NX.
I think it would too. I just don't think it'll come out. What are
Ever.
your thoughts? Oh yeah. What are your thoughts on Nintendo ending DS Fat repairs in Japan? You could buy a DS Fat for $10 all day. They might as well.
How come we haven't seen any big marketing push for Star Fox? I don't think
I know
Nintendo.
why.
Why?
Because Nintendo doesn't feel that the game is going to get great scores.
Yeah. I don't think Nintendo believes in Star Fox based on the reception they got after E3. The delay, it definitely helped. They put more polish on it. But this is the same kind of treatment that they were giving the games at the holiday lineup, which, let's face it, was not that good, and they're heavily discounted now, like Amiibo Festival and Triforce Heroes. Even though Triforce Heroes was okay as a multiplayer game. So yeah, I think that that's the writing on the wall. They don't believe in the game, and from what I saw here in Nintendo in Canada, they don't have that confidence.
They're just nervous because of all of the shit that's been said. Whether that shit is fair or not,
Yep.
that remains to be seen. I already have an opinion on whether it's fair or not. That being no, based on my,
Shows
10
you
plus
shows
hours with the game. But
shows you the power of media, though.
yeah, I mean, any facet of life. Jason, you playing more Pokken lately?
I haven't. I played a lot of it when I first got it, and I don't know. The campaign was starting to get a little hard, and it kind of gets repetitive fighting the same 16. I should really try it with online though.
I have not picked up Pokken yet. I am getting some money this week, hopefully, and I will go get it. Um, with Nintendo changing their colors back to white and red coloring in the logo and marketing material, no, it's
What?
they just Nintendo like it's like a big thing right now. We didn't even write about it, but Nintendo's like going back to white and red logos, I guess, on their marketing stuff instead of the gray, which was kind of assimilated with the Wii and the Wii U. I don't think it really means anything, but whatever.
Fuzz Dude, am I the only one that thinks Star Fox looks great? You've got two people right here on this podcast that love the visuals. They're, might I say, on par with Xenoblade. Is that a fair statement?
Well, Xenoblade, Xenoblade's tough
It's
because it's so big.
right.
Sometimes the visuals look better in other areas than not. It's a visually pleasing game. You remember the Star Fox scene from Bayonetta? There's moments where you're like, okay,
Shit, I gotta play that. I
there
haven't
you
I
go.
haven't seen that part yet.
Sean, why did you stop looking like a hobo? I like to to sexy myself up like once every few months.
He changes his look every month or two. Either a new facial hair, a new thing on his head. It's actually funny. You could probably watch the last 2 years of Nintendo Enthusiast content and see actually both of our evolution. Because when I started on the channel, I was doing funky stuff with my hair too. It was longer.
Yeah. Don't go online. I'm poking. You'll get your ass kicked by 5-year-olds.
Oh shit.
No, I mean Pokemon's at least a little more legit. Star Fox Zero has great music. You know what game I watched? Coop Man did a first look at Super Robot.
I'll have to listen. I haven't
I
listened.
really dug it.
Still like the villain. So like everything you did in the previous games doesn't count. Like that's really all they should have said is everything you've done in the previous games doesn't count.
Yeah, they should have called it a reboot instead of a sort of a remaster or remake. A reboot would have been much more applicable, I feel.
Right. I guess no, I can't say that. Never mind.
Remember that show Reboot? That show always creeped me out as a kid.
Incoming game.
Dude,
Incoming game.
the animation on it was so weird and creepy.
That was one of the games where or shows I wanted to enjoy because like the marketing push was so strong. I'm like, I feel I need to care about this. And I remember like Pizza Hut would have like little figurines, and I was like, oh, I really like these things are cool. I need to like it, but I couldn't. I didn't like it.
House and Pee Wee Herman fan I am. As big of a Full House, I'm petrified.
Oh man. Yeah, some things are always left better with the nostalgia goggles on.
What do you guys think of the new My Nintendo and the fact that
Ooh,
coins go
good
away after
question.
6 months?
That's not good.
It just means you got to use them.
It's bullshit. What if you have 550 coins and you need 600, but oh no, my 6 months is up, so now I gotta like, I hate loyalty. There's a lot of loyalty programs that do this, and it's one reason like I used to be big into the Best Buy Club, whatever, and I ditched that because you have to get your point. Like only the purchases in the last 6 months count. Like, sorry, I'm not buying a TV every 6 months. Like, I hate that. But I love my Nintendo. Like, I love what they did with the account. I just hate the expiration date on the coins. That's so stupid.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. But I think it's because the rewards are going to be cycling all the time as well. Because if you look at the current rewards, I think they're only applicable till May.
That's
Could be wrong
true.
on
They do
that.
have deadlines on them, yeah.
Right. So I mean, it's going to be like a rotating thing. So I mean, to me, it's not. It's people are looking at it like Club Nintendo, and I don't think that's fair because Club Nintendo really you sat around for months and months and you would get these shitty rewards and you would have to then at the end of the year you get a big bang and that was what all of your stuff was saved up for.
Yeah.
um, Whereas this is more of like, okay, you're buying digital games anyways. You're playing these games. You're doing this shit in Matomo now. Look, it's not like you're gonna go out of your way to earn coins. You're gonna earn coins by doing what you do, and then you're gonna realize you're gonna say, "Fuck, I got a lot of coins here," and then you're gonna go on the shop and be like, "Oh, cool, I can get this, I can get this, I can get this."
Nah. But still, I feel if you're like just about to hit a reward and then they're about to expire, then you will go out of your way to try and get those coins. Especially like the gold ones. Those aren't easy to get.
No, but the gold ones you have to spend. Those they're mostly monetary.
Yeah,
You buy $10 worth of eShop stuff, you get X amount of gold
right.
coins.
And that kind of sucks too. Like, why can't the retail doesn't have it?
Okay, let me go on my Nintendo right now. Okay, let me see what rewards are available to me. I have at this point in time. This is all from just Miitomo. I have
Yes,
620 platinum coins.
right.
With those 620 platinum coins,
Okay, but the Miitomo launch is
shut
giving
up.
everybody with coins. You're not gonna have that.
Shut up. I can get 15% off a digital download of A Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds.
You can also get the Mario costume for your me.
I don't care about that. What else can I get?
Wario touched at 1,000 coins.
Um,
WarioWare touched.
I can get 15% off of Animal Crossing New Leaf, and that's only going to take up 450 points. I can get 15% off Super Mario Land 3 or Super Mario 3D Land, 450 points. Okay? Like
Okay,
that's not
so
bad.
you're
That's
saying
not bad.
you're getting discounts instead of free things. With Club Nintendo, we were used to actually getting a full free thing, whereas now you gotta look at it as, hey, you're getting a break on games because you're getting discounts.
Yeah, for playing some stupid cell phone game that I've done nothing with, and I still don't understand it. I can almost get the Picross Mario. See, like the Zelda Picross. Am I saying that wrong? Picross
P-Cross.
is available until October, whereas something like the Mario suit for Mitomo is only available till May 1st.
Launch exclusive. You should get it.
No, I don't want it. And like the game discounts are all till March 1st. So they're gonna cycle out different games.
Yeah.
So that's cool with me. I got no problem. I got no beef with that, man.
All right.
I got
What
no
about a
beef with that.
Capcom versus Nintendo fighter?
Oh, oh, be still my beating heart and penis.
Oh,
You know how I feel about that. I would love that.
I know. I shouldn't have even asked. Probably jizzed everywhere.
Right, I am talking about silver coins only. The gold coins are monetary ones where you when you buy shit,
Yeah, so why should those expire? You actually like bought stuff. That's
they're
frustrating. I bought $100 this month. I don't know. It was my birthday.
dude, you got 6 months to spend it, asshole. There's going to be 6 rounds of games for you to get them. I'm sure in those 6 months there's going to be something you want.
No, because I didn't get enough, and I have to wait till Christmas. But Christmas is 7 months away, so I'm
Well, you
screwed.
suck, and your parents are shit, and you should
Yeah.
run away from home.
Hmm. Very good advice to be giving. All right.
Stay in
Uh,
school, kids. Stay in school.
any last questions you want to take before we wrap up?
I think we're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. All right. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us here on Class vs. Crass, the Nintendo podcast. Let us know in the comments. I don't know. I don't know what you think of
Let
us.
us
I
know in the
guess
comments.
what you
Let us
like
know in
about
the
us.
comments. Something. Just say something.
Something.
Shit.
Yeah. Comment. Always comment. Comments are welcome.
You could
Um,
tell. You could tell when we do a Monday show versus a Sunday show. Because a Sunday show we're like lively and energy, and then a Monday it's like, oh hey, real
blah.
world shit.
It is. We have a heavier day on our shoulders, sort of.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for joining us. We'll be back next Sunday, which is when we usually do this podcast at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. What are we doing this week? We've got a new skit on Nintendo Enthusiasts. Every 2 weeks, you can catch a skit where Sean and I come up with some kind of joke. Look at that face. What are you thinking about?
I'm
Um,
trying to think of
we need to
what
come
we're
up
gonna
with
do
something. We often make these
tomorrow.
skits within like 4 hours. So if they look bad, that's why. Do
But
we
they do
have?
well.
They do well. Do we have any reviews this week? I don't think so.
We
On
might
the
have Super Robo Mouse. We just got that code in. I'm working on getting a couple other codes. My Infinity Runner review just went up yesterday. Not a bad game. And yeah, I guess I don't know.
Yeah, that's about it. It's gonna be a light week. You're gonna get your skit. You're gonna get your Nintendo 90 this weekend, and then another Class vs. Crass on Sunday. So we'll see you guys on Twitter, Facebook. We're now on Mitomo. We're on the Wii U or whatever. Until next Sunday, keep it classy, or as Sean would say,
Keep it crassy.
Take care, guys. Good night. Let's play some music. That's not the scene I want. Sing us off, Sean.
Never gonna sing again.